you're working with social inclusion. Tell me what the social inclusion unit is, what does it consist of?
So social inclusion here at Reading, there are 9 full-time members of staff, about 20 part-time members of staff. We currently have a range of programmes. Our flagship programme will be the Premier League Kicks.
The Kicks is a community-based initiative where we go into targeted areas, so areas of deprivation, and offer sporting activity for young people to engage in. All of the sessions are free, so it's not just football. They can do boxercise, fishing, cheerleading. So yeah, it's very inclusive programme.
These sessions have been going actually since 2009. So we're one of the longer lasting clubs who have been delivering kicks. We also have many other programmes. We have a lot of post-16 programmes, and they are an NCFE level 2 in sport. We also have a BTEC running for this September, and we currently work in partner with Reading College. So we have a range of programmes. We also like to obviously work with many people who are struggling in life, so our alternative provision is a big part of what we do in inclusion. The alternative provision has around 95 young people on a week, and they're children who may be struggling within school for many reasons, whether it's behavioural or academic. Again, these children range from 5 years old all the way up to sort of adult now, 24.
Can you tell me what you liked about the Trust?
What I liked about the Trust is that it was always giving back, and at the times when I very first started doing after school clubs, I think the first time I actually went into one, which was in Wokingham, into Westcott Primary School, was seeing the children's faces after you'd done a session and seeing that they'd enjoyed it, and then parents coming up to you afterwards saying that their son or daughter had enjoyed the session or had learnt something. I felt good about myself because I was able to give something back to the community, and something probably that I'd learnt growing up playing football here.
Tell me the end goal for these students. Where do you want to go?
So the end goal for the students is to become an employed member of staff here at the football club. I think the social inclusion team have been together for nearly 10 years. The junior staff now who work on all of the programmes have come through everything. So they would have been a Kicks participant, then a volunteer, and then after that they would have joined one of our post-16 programmes, whether it's Reading College or an NCFE in sport with Keith. And then after that they would become a volunteer, complete their paperwork and payroll, and then it would be, you're ready. And then they would jump into whether it's alternative provision, kick sessions, after school clubs, soccer schools, and from there on it's up to them which way they want their journey to go.
So touching on the success we've already had, where do you see the social inclusion going in the future? Where do you
Well, currently at the moment we'll be moving to a new site within the next 2 years. That most likely will be South Reading Leisure Centre if things will go to plan. And at that point we'll be able to expand the programmes we have. But it's not always about expanding them, it's about making sure we've got the right quality as well at the same thing. So that's making sure we've got the right quality staff delivering. So hopefully when we move to that site we'll be able to hopefully open our fully own alternative provision school. And if we can do that, that means we'll be able to help more young people.
See, you mentioned you were a manager. Could you tell me what you manage?
So I manage the RAP programme. So it's RAP, stands for Reading Alternative Provision. And what we do is we take kids who are not in mainstream school or not assigned to a designated school, and we take them in on our alternative provision programme, and we look to work with them. And that's also kids who struggle socially, emotionally, and who need some physical exercise that they can't stay in a mainstream school for, and we give them that time here at Reading Football Club. And what we look to do when they're on site is we look to work on 6 areas: their independence, their empowerment, empowering themselves, self-efficiency, problem solving, decision making, communication skills, and resilience. And all those things I think are key in the world of work, you know, and going out to the outside world in learning how to plan your route or to structure your life in a certain way that will help you get to where you need to get to, you know, and then reinforcing that with loads of positive encounters with staff here on the programme, as well as situations that they might come across later on in life, and if they can discuss it now and then learn what to do with that skill, i.e. saying communication, job interviews, things like that, they can then take that on with them for the next couple of years. Kids that do come here, we don't want to keep them, we want to progress as much as we can so that they can possibly get back into mainstream school, you know, because you need to get your grades. I flunked, and I'm telling you now, you need to get them because they help you out when you get older. But we want the kids to come here, to enjoy it, grow from it, but also to steer them back on the positive route of being back in school, into mainstream, and to finish their education. Yeah.
So you touched on where the kids will end up. Where do you want RAP to end up? Where do you want it to
The rap program's exciting, you know. It could go anywhere, to be honest. It could go down a football team route. It could go into a school of its own, approved school. It could go anywhere, to be honest with you. However, where it is right now, it's quite exciting. For me personally, I think it could grow massively. So at the moment, we normally have about 100 kids on the rap program, and I think it could double that. We could double that, and I believe that having the staff who are within that type of environment, who've experienced those type of ACEs, are more likely to have a better impact on those kids who have also experienced those type of ACEs. And you know, that is gold dust in a way, because they can relate.
Rich came in and explained they do coaching up here, so I decided to come along. It's in Whitley as well, so that's where I live as well, so it's close by. Just want to go to different schools and do what basically Richard does, and just in and out of schools, after school clubs. But I was going to speak to Richard about it, but I do want to try and open like what's it called? Like a youth club sort of thing for kids for after school and that. Because we did have one in Whitley before, but it got shut down. Before the coronavirus stuff hit, Richard sent me to Princess Trust, and I'd done it there, and I got a certificate and everything, and they've been emailing me quite a lot. They said after the coronavirus sort of stuff, they want me to go and play at like festivals and that with them, stuff like that. So it's good. Because not a lot of kids who come up here enjoy playing football and etc. So he said different ideas would be like, as Spicer does like DJing and everything, and I play piano, it'd be I'll be glad to like know what, teach my skills to other people, because I'm self-taught, so I'll be like happily just to teach them what I know and help them like progress. I want to try and I'm trying to get my FA level 2, because I've got my FA level 1 in a minute. I'm trying to get my FA level 2 and then go up and up and up until I get, hopefully pro license whenever I get that. But yeah.
So I run the post-16 education course for the last couple of years. When we started it, maybe 7-8 years ago, we had maybe 10-11 students in each year, and we've always I can't sit still on something. I need to make things better and grow. So now we're up to nearly 40 students per year. So what they do is they come in. A lot of my students that come in now would have struggled in mainstream school. So when they come to me, their confidence is on the ground. They just struggle with life in general. You're not just a tutor to them. We explain to them they're in 4 days a week, that we're here for them if they need us the weekends. And a lot of them would be the first like positive male role model that they've probably had in their life. That is a big thing with us is pathways. We're not just going to take in students and have them in for 2 years and then just brush them aside. That's not what we're about. So our post-16 courses are getting stronger and stronger as the years go by.
What are you proud of that you've already achieved here at the Trust?
I'm proud of how far we've come in the last 5-6 years. We've built up a lot of relationships with external partners that trust us. I think to me that's very important, is healthy relationships with people outside the club. But yeah, just a progression with our education courses, and we seem to be getting bigger and bigger each year, which to me, that is brilliant. And kids that I've worked with when I moved over 7-8 years ago, when you bump into them in the street or they ring you and say, Keith, I'm still working but I'm looking for a new job, can I put you down as a reference? And I haven't spoken to these kids in 4 years. And for me, for them to come back to you and ask things like that, or come back and ask advice, that to me is a bonus. It's job done, like, to see them doing well.
How did you first encounter Reading FC Community Trust?
So I encountered Reading FC Community Trust in around 2013. I was originally working for a similar project doing social inclusion for the council, and then when I finished there I got offered the opportunity to work doing sessional work with the disability groups, just doing football sessions and stuff like that. So that's how I got into it. Plus, yeah, my best mate has been in it for quite a while, so he kind of introduced me to it as well. So,
why did you feel the need to get involved?
I think it was a natural kind of progression for me, because I was doing similar work before that, and when the opportunity come to join the social inclusion team, I just fitted in. It was something that I wanted to do, and something that I've been doing already, so it was a kind of natural progression for me.
And what is it exactly that you do here?
So I am a mentor for Targeted Kicks.
So Targeted Kicks is a programme that touches upon and gives young people protective factors around serious youth violence. So I think for me it's being able to take young people that are on our doorstep in Reading, but also expand the programme out to other areas like West Berkshire and Slough.
They're split into two groups, so you've got Tier 1, which is the school groups where you do small classes of 5, and they're kind of on the verge of maybe getting into trouble or going down the wrong path and maybe getting expelled. So we're trying to work with them before they kind of choose the wrong path. And then you've got the Tier 2, which is one-to-one mentoring for young people that are already involved in all kinds of things and need a bit of support in kind of pushing them in the right direction, really. A lot of the kids that we work with, they've either been failed by the system or the normal school environment isn't for them. So that's where we come in. I mean, everyone learns in different ways. Not everyone can adjust and be in a class full of 30 people. So some of them need one-to-one work, others need to be around people that are similar to them, or they might have teachers that are a little bit more patient with them. So we kind of always look out for the ones that have been let down by the system or feel that they need to learn in a different way to progress. So that's where we come in.
I am the post-16 football programme lead, that's the posh title. My job is effectively to help coordinate the running of the football programme and be involved with the college education. The aim of those programmes, or this programme that I'm overseeing, is to either provide an exit route into the game, either non-league in a playing capacity or through after-school clubs, community work, academy work in a coaching capacity, or it's to provide real-life industry experience for the guys who come through our pathway.
And where would you like this football team to go in future?
From a playing perspective, I guess get as high in the set of tactic leagues as we possibly can. Ideally, we'd like to grow the programme to such an extent where we're not just getting one cohort in. We've got 2 or 3 separate groups, so we can branch out and play in some of the more prestigious leagues like the CIFA League, or we can play locally in Allied Counties leagues. That way, it will maximise the standard of football that our cohorts are being exposed to. Also provides more of a structure to our pathway, so the ones who excel and play in, for example, a CIFA League will be able to go on and play non-league football, for example, whereas the ones who just enjoy football but aren't worried about making it a profession will be able to go and play in the tactic league but be able to put emphasis on their coaching or their industry experience while they're here as well.
I understand outside of here you have another role as a coach?
Yeah, under 23s head coach at Oxford City, who play in the National League South.
And I understand that's quite a high level of football, but would you be interested in building a pathway between what you do here and what you do there?
Well, I mean, a pathway already exists. In the short time we've been here, we've already had 4 players go and experience first team football in step 5 of the National League, the non-league system, with the previous coaches from here. So they've had experience of what semi-professional football looks like, and we've also had 2 players come to my group at Oxford City, which again is a step up. So they've had further experience of what a more professional environment looks like, not just from a playing perspective and standard of player, but in terms of facilities, extra provisions away from the training, and all of that sort of stuff. So they've had experience of that. And hopefully over the summer, you never know, they might get the chance to experience what first team football at that level looks like as well.
What are you proud of that you've achieved here at the Trust?
I think major things that we'd be proud of is probably winning the Kicks Award, winning the Pride of Reading. Also for our staff is the staff training that they get. It's very good. It makes sure that we get the right members of staff working on the right projects. And I guess the overall main thing will be the young people's journey. When you see somebody who is 5 years old and then they're 15 and then they're 20 in the stages they've gone through, but maybe if they hadn't have done one of your programs, they might be in a different place in their life. So I think when you see people outside of the football club, whether it's in a supermarket or shop or so, and they speak to you and they tell you about if they'd never done your program, they might have been somewhere else, or things might not have gone the way they planned, then I think that for us gives us all spur to go on and want to achieve more here and make sure that we can do the best job we can.